I mean, you can, but I don't think we should until we're um oh, what? Oh, they're streaming the other stuff? CWF network? Oh no, never mind. Okay. So we'll just have to okay make uh a Twitch
Hello, hello, Twitch CWF Universe. That was just so I could hear myself, and that's good.
I heard you.
Now anyway, welcome. This is our pilot episode of CWF Backstage Pass,
Hmm.
where we take a look into the inner workings of the Cosplay Wrestling Federation and highlight some of our talent, the conventions that we've been to, and of course, talk about wrestling. My name is Gerardo Paz. I'm one of the co-founders of the Cosplay Wrestling Federation. I play Mr. Hiki and Matt Ishida, and with me is my good friend and CWF commissioner. Uh,
Wes Bartel.
yeah,
Hi.
yeah. I was wondering. I was like, wait. I always know he's
I,
what?
I didn't know how you were sliding into that intro, buddy. My name is Wes Bartel. I am, in fact, the commissioner. I'm part of the management team. I play Mr. Dangerous in the CWF. And yeah. So, Gerardo, why don't you explain what CWF is? Because this is the pilot, and someone who doesn't know us could be watching.
That's a very good question that we have not totally planned out before this, ladies and gentlemen. Um, for those who are listening,
Smooth, buddy.
yeah,
Way to
smooth.
go.
Way to go. For those who are listening for the first time, we are the Cosplay Wrestling Federation, a traveling comedy improv show that has been up and down California and have had shows in Maryland and Arizona in January. Where,
Oh, man.
yeah, I
That's
know
so cool.
it is. We did Maryland so we could say nationwide. Um,
Uh,
uh, but we represent the storytelling and emotional drama of professional wrestling, but none of the actual physical contact. The way
right.
the way I describe it to people is you take whose line is it anyway, and you frame it like a WWE pay-per-view.
That sounds perfect. Because not everyone's going to be strong or fast or have a lot of dexterity, but anybody can walk up, and if they got talent in the mic, they can become champion.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it's it's
that's a
it's
really special show, I feel.
it's really cool, especially since we embrace performers of all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all walks of life, of different shapes, sizes, genders, and orientations, and people don't really care. Now, for some of you listening who haven't heard of us before, you would ask, "Wait, how the heck are you gonna have a wrestling show without any wrestling?" It's like the number one question you usually get. We usually
Always.
always whenever you say there's no wrestling, they go like, "Yeah," and you tell them about the no wrestling, they go, "What?" And I myself I can't explain why it works, but it plays into the wrestling fans' natural instinct to play along.
I
Where
feel like there's a lot of people out there that really watch wrestling, not just for the high flying stunts that they do, but because they do love the drama. They do love seeing the storylines unfurl every week.
right,
And this is an event that caters to exactly that. And I feel like there's enough wrestling fans out there that's seen backyard wrestling enough where they want something different. Because anybody with a camera and a mattress can do backyard wrestling. But but
everyone, everyone.
nobody's doing this.
No, yeah, it's you bring up a good point. It's the storyline. The way I see like the physical elements of a wrestling match is the way I see like a dance number in a Bollywood movie, where
Mm.
it's a display of immense physical skill with more than one person that is there to push the story along. The good ones is there to push the story along into the actual story beats. So you know
Yeah.
instead of wrestling, we have it's promo work, all promo work. Our characters come in and they cut promos as their character, as if they were a pro wrestler, and the audience is encouraged to cheer and boo um, any recipient depending on what they say. Yeah, we're one of the very few panels that lets people boo the contestants. So,
Yeah,
that's
and we're one of the few panels that actually lets anybody come up because if you sign up with us, you can get on stage, and first timers have and do win uh, the entire thing, get the belt. Uh, I'm trying to think of who won the Anime California match.
Anime California was Retzko,
Retzko, and that was her first time, correct?
his first time.
His first time. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was actually Retzko versus Retzko from Agretzko and Brittany from Fairly Odd Parents. It was both their first time.
Brittany.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Brittany, and they first time performing, and they both made it to the first round, the final round, and they did fantastic. Show loved it. Um,
Which is fantastic.
which is yeah, it's fantastic, and just goes to show that it's a very approachable. It's a very approachable event. It's you don't have to go to a professional wrestling dojo and train for like how many weeks to get in.
Right.
Um,
So how about we move on to the announcements that we got?
well, actually, I think in this handy dandy we got like a note sheet here.
I mean, if you wanna break the meta, man, shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
The podcast is predetermined.
is it?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was real.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, bro. Um, I
Damn you, CM Punk
damn.
breaking the fourth wall.
Really, we just want the purpose of this podcast, which is what the bullet point I wrote here, because it's wrestling. You do bullet points. You don't fully write things out. Is the purpose of this podcast is to really show everyone, especially our fans, a little behind the stage magic of the Cosplay Wrestling Federation. We do everything completely in kayfabe when we present, and if you don't know the word kayfabe, it means to present everything that you show to the audience as true. So, like in wrestling, if Wes and I were to wrestle, and he quote unquote breaks my arm,
Mm,
so when we're done with the match, like maybe like a day later, you'll still see me wear a cast because my arm got broken. That's kayfabe. Uh,
right. Or if somebody has a fight on stage where it's supposedly very heated, they're going to keep up that act while they are off stage.
yeah. So if Wes breaks my arm in kayfabe, I won't
You're really
be.
focused on breaking that arm, man.
I don't know. It's just like it's an easy example. Yeah, but if he does that, I wouldn't say a week later post a selfie with us together at like a friend's party going hanging out with Wes.
Oh man.
So there's a lot of crazy stories here. There's a lot
Mm,
of crazy dumb stories when you get a lot of nerds together and you get a lot of wrestling nerds together and cosplay nerds together. The antics happen. There are a lot of things that happen in the show that don't go as planned. There are things that happen in the show that look like they were planned and they were not. And we want to share it with you, as well as just this being a great way for us to interact with our listeners and share what we love with with wrestling, and for you to ask questions to us. So, to the I'm currently checking the Twitch chat right now. To the 8 people, 8 people are here.
oh
What?
wow.
Yeah, to the 8 people listening right now. I think I'm one of them. So the 7 people, because I'm
I'm
watching
one of them too. But
the 6 people here. To the 6 people listening, we hope that you will, if you got any questions or comments, feel free to type it in the chat, and we'll do our best to actually answer it. We want you to be part of the discussion, right? This is not just, oh, Ms. Guts says post. Rachel is also one of them. That what's up? Rachel is one of our performers. She plays Pika Libre, and I'm gonna have to get the frickin' wiki on this because no, it's a really long name. What she played.
oh, dead air. Gotta love
No,
that
no,
dead
no.
air
That
while you
that
look something up.
yeah. No, I
His
apparently
name
I
is
type
Ellie.
I type really slow when I'm on command. But Rachel is in the chat. She plays Pika Libre, Heather
Oh,
Mason.
Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way.
Yes,
That's what's it.
from My
Okay.
Immortal.
Oh wow.
Yes, that was that was.
That's super, man. Oh wow.
Do you remember the My Immortal days, Wes?
Oh, I remember exactly where I was when I first read My Immortal. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. So we do have some announcements about some things that are coming up.
Oh yeah, very important announcements. Like, this is one of the reasons why, listeners, you get to hear these announcements before anyone else. We haven't posted these announcements. Well, one of them. We haven't posted on Facebook or shared it, so this is going to be exclusive. I feel like that word is,
Comes with your backstage pass, man. You
yeah,
know.
I do feel like that word's kind of losing its edge. Remember E3 last year with
Oh,
exclusive.
everything was an exclusive, man.
Everything was exclusive.
And then it would show up on PC. It's like, come on, man.
Or like Comic Con exclusive trailer, and then they share it on YouTube. But
uh Magic the Gathering had this exclusive battle axe from one of the commanders. It was supposed to be something you can only get at Comic Con that year, and now I think they just sell it. So that's the kind of exclusive I'm tired of. But this is real exclusive
this is
stuff.
real, yeah, because this is a first, and let me get that number again. Is it six? Is it still six? Six people here?
Don't
S- Five.
don't don't
Five.
focus on them, buddy.
Okay.
Focus on this.
I wanted to be accurate. Um,
They'll, they'll find out.
let's
So
let's go ahead and.
first thing,
Oh yeah. Good.
no, go for it, man.
No, you announce it.
Uh, you have more info about HentaiCon.
Yes, HentaiCon, the first piece of information that has already been shared, but on November 3rd, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at HentaiCon, which is located in Los Angeles at the Marriott Burbank Airport. Isn't that where ALA used to be?
Anime Los Angeles was there.
Yes, at Anime Los Angeles' old hotel. HentaiCon will have its first year debut, and Cosplay Wrestling Federation will have a show known as CWF Money Shot.
Oh, man, the logo for that is nuts. I love it so much. The you got the love nectar eyes going.
Yeah, that was actually a logo in progress. We had to switch logos for that one.
Really?
Yeah. That Wes is talking about a prototype logo we shared. It's actually pretty cool. We might share it on Facebook. But more importantly, what is confirmed is our involvement. This is going to be our first ever 18 plus show. Your thoughts about being at HentaiCon, Wes?
Oh man. So I'm really excited because uh until now we've been a 16 plus panel.
Yeah,
Some,
we
sometimes 18.
we'd like to air on 16. That way we don't have people clogged up showing ID. Um,
Mm.
so,
But if you're at HentaiCon, they check ID at the door, so it's
but
gonna it's gonna be fun. Oh
we're
no, at the door when you come into the convention.
yeah, coming to convention. But you are right. This is our first ever 18 plus exclusive show. Other times we just make ourselves 18 plus because the con doesn't have a 16 plus option, and we want to
Right.
protect ourselves from the occasional f bomb that happens.
Oh yeah, and they do happen
Yeah, a lot.
every show. Uh, almost every show.
But
But it's cool to have another convention that's down here. Like I mentioned before, we had yeah
yeah,
with Real Hoot.
it's gonna be a real hoot, and more importantly,
So many hoots.
as uh, as Wes said, is that this show is still taking applications.
That's right. We haven't confirmed any performance yet, so um, we're going to talk about that at the end of the show.
Yes, so
You should stay tuned.
if you are going to be going to HentaiCon or interested at going to HentaiCon or in the Los Angeles area and you don't mind hentai but want to be in the CWF, um, you could sign up and fill out an application to be considered in this show. We love new talent. We
Yeah,
love expanding our roster. Our veteran performers love welcoming new performers. They're very
you could
accommodating.
because they always bring like a new dynamic to the game, and you can see every time that there's a really strong performance, the next show there somebody's taken a little bit of that and makes their game that much stronger, which is great. I love that.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful opportunity for everyone involved. I don't think we're gonna stream this just because we don't want to get banned.
Probably
Prob-
not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea. So consider this one of the rare lost shows that is not gonna have a lot of
We've
first-hand
we only
footage.
have one other lost show,
No,
right?
two lost shows.
Two lost shows. I know that the one at Magfest, was it this year or last year?
Oh no, we have three lost shows. And uh,
Oh,
Rachel posted a newcomer won our last show. That is correct. A brand new wrestler won the CrackinCon show, and we'll be talking
should
about.
probably use screen names instead of real names.
Oh well, sorry, Ms. Guts. Sorry about that. But We will talk about CrackinCon later. Yes, three lost shows.
Mhm.
In the 5 years we have done Cosplay Wrestling Federation, there have been five major shows that we have somehow, either through poor planning, negligence, or bad luck, we do not have video footage for. And that is the first MagFest show this year, uh,
Mhm.
our I want to say our
Our third show.
our third Anime Expo, where
Which
where
one was third Anime Expo?
where Little Mac and Yami Yugi were in the finals, our first CWF retention,
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was when Yami Yugi stomped on a Little Mac amiibo during the height of amiibo frenzy, and everybody in the audience had a heart attack.
Well, those are expensive and like collector's items.
Well, they were,
They were. Not that one. Um,
and our very first show, World Cosplay Wrestling, which has been lost to the thrones of time.
just like Otaku Wolf. Otaku Wolf, if you're out
It's
there,
Otaku Hound.
or Otaku Hound, excuse me. Hound is so much better than Wolf. If you're out there, Otaku Hound, please contact us again. Otaku who? That's right. That's right, Daniel-san. Oh man, he's there's like so little proof of him. He exists. We know he exists, but he's in like no pictures.
One. He's in one photo.
Shh, that one doesn't exist. Come on, man.
Okay, you're right.
All right. So next point of business. We're starting to work on more Amazon merch. This is we have some prospective artists, and we'd really like to expand merchandise. We have the templates for CWF merch for T-shirts. Um, and I was thinking, gee, this is new to you. I haven't talked about this with you yet.
Oh wow, this is so exclusive. Even I'm finding
It's
out for the
so exclusive.
so
Backstage
exclusive.
Pass.
Oh shit! I need a backstage pass. The show I help run. Damn.
You know what would be really cool?
Oh no, what?
Lanyards.
I was
Black lanyards with the CWF logo on it.
I was about to say color changing glow sticks like they have at idol concerts.
Whoa. Whoa. That would be fantastic. So if Yami Yumi came up, or Yami Yugi came up, you put up blue because he wears blue,
Yeah,
or Mario with the
red.
red.
I
Oh man,
I only say that because AX this year, Anime Expo this year, was the
Mm.
same year Love Live came, and there were some Love Live fans in the audience, and they had the color changing glow sticks. So there's some like I saw like a wave of purple when Waluigi came out. It was actually purple and yellow.
I would
Uh,
love to have that level of fans come to our shows. People who are just dedicated to coming out, rocking out with their glow sticks or whatever. Bring your signs, and people that are just freaking out. Maybe doing dances or hakas for people coming up.
like
Because
like
let's be real.
like if we had a Moana entry and then we had people in the back doing hakas.
Let's be real. So someone starts coming up, guys get up, start chanting, doing a little dance for whoever. Um, that would be awesome. Like if there was a Phoenix Wright dance, that would be so fun. I would really love to see that. But just to reiterate, we're working on Amazon merch. We have already have a new shirt in mind that we're working out the details. Um, and uh, I mean, there's nothing more to say about that.
Yeah, it's pretty much our Amazon merch was really, it had really good response with the Phantomania shirts, and we all realize that it's kind of dumb that we're letting it kind of atrophy. So we're
Yeah,
we're putting up some exclusive online shirts. So this is going to be different from the black CWF T-shirt with the white logo that we sell in person at conventions. So collect them all.
yep. It's gonna look good. Well,
A Phoenix Wright dance would be nothing but various pointing. Actually, there's a video out there called the I think it's like the objection dance where that happens
oh God,
where a bunch of people are standing behind a table and they do something in tune the music. But I'm getting beside myself. The next announcement, right, Wes?
oh man, real quick. I I helped develop that. That was like 2007, I want to say. And that was my old group of buddies. I left before they recorded that, but man, the objection dance. I haven't thought about that in forever.
Oh, that's us old
That
dinosaurs remember that stuff
in the beginning.
in the beginning.
Um, all right, and sorry, back on track. The last note.
Yes. Now, this is for pending shows.
Hmm,
At this moment, we have submitted our panel submission paperwork to Anime Los Angeles for 2019, also known as ALA. ALA is a very important convention to our hearts. It's where we
hmm.
debuted 5 years ago. This will be our sixth year if we get in. So
I, I'm really crossing my fingers.
So,
Um,
anybody listening, if you would like to see us at Anime Los Angeles, please do your best to contact Anime Los Angeles, be it on their Facebook or Twitter page, and let them know that you would love to see the Cosplay Wrestling Federation.
just be like, so CWF when? CWF when, guys? Come on, get
Yeah.
your stuff together, ALA.
Um,
I shouldn't say that. I know the people who are
yeah.
running that.
ALA is a very fine convention, so he means that in a very friendly manner.
Oh yeah,
But very important about this ALA show, and this is if we're accepted, and we hope we're accepted. This will be the first Anime Los Angeles show without Lashada Decree or Mr. Hiki.
that's so crazy. I still can't get over that, man.
Yeah,
You're not going to be there, and neither is Lashada.
Lashada's not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. The show will be ran by General Manager Iron Will, who ran the Anime California show, Absolute Chaos, and of course, Commissioner Dangerous. Or, wait, no, Commissioner Mr. Dangerous.
Commissioner Mr. Dangerous. That's
Commissioner
right.
Mr. Dangerous.
It's like a pimp named Slickback. You got to say the whole thing.
Like a
Uh,
tribe called Quest.
that's right. You can't just call him Quest. Who the hell is Quest? Uh, so, gee,
Yes.
we had some shows that I actually did not get to really see. Um, the SAC anime show and the KrakenCon show.
Yes. Yes. Let me bring you up to speed, my good friend.
Mm.
September, October has been a very busy month for us, in a good way.
Also, also, real quick, thank you, Hikaru Chan, for the Twitch Prime sub.
Oh,
You're the
thank you,
best.
thank you, Hikaru-chan. The chat's been really lively. This is very encouraging to read. So no, it's great. Nobody wants to broadcast into nothing. So,
Oh
I
yeah, definitely.
our listeners, we are currently broadcasting on Twitch. So if you are listening to this through downloaded media, and we hope you are, and you're wondering who the heck are these people talking to, it's because we're on Twitch. So
Mm.
wanted to bring you up to speed. But let's go ahead and back to that previous question. Shows.
Right.
Yes, September's been
Recap.
a crazy month. It was our one of our very few months where we've had two shows in one month. Um,
Mm.
ever since I want to say July, we have had 1 month, one show every month. July had AX, August had Anime California, and then September had SAC Anime and KrakenCon. And
Mm.
and we're going to talk about those too. So SAC Anime, for those of you who don't know, is a very unique show. It's based in Sacramento, California, and it is our only joint show with a professional wrestling federation, Supreme Pro Wrestling. Donovan Troy, who is our ring announcer, he voted the voice of NorCal Pro Wrestling.
Wow, I
Just
didn't know that.
yeah, he is. He's just a very prolific man. Loves wrestling. Got us a partnership with SPW, where at SAC Anime, Supreme Pro Wrestling brings their wrestling ring, and we do a joint show. So we'll have a
Mm.
CWF segment, and then SPW will go ahead and wrestle, and we have some fun. This year, this show was very interesting. Where normally we would have kind of like a double feature, double feature like you watch Death Proof, and then you watch Death Wish. Remember Grindhouse? You guys remember Grindhouse?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It, it used to be like that. So you get the CWF segment, and then at the end you'd have the SPW segment. Throughout these years, the segments slowly gotten a little bit more blurred. Like Super Mario would actually manage an SPW wrestler, and he would get involved in the wrestling matches, and Phoenix Wright would officiate some. But this year, we alternated. So we would have a CWF segment and an SPW segment, and we would alternate. And there was like some storylines, like the president of SPW. He actually endorsed me, which is a total heel thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was a total heel move. Like, I hope Matt Ishida gets his belt, and everybody hates Matt Ishida, so they were booing him. They called him an asshat. That's his what he's affectionately called in the SPW fandom. And at the very end, Super Mario teamed up with his client Patrick Fitzpatrick to team against Phoenix Wright and Scoot Robertson in an actual tag team match, like actual wrestling.
That
Bodies.
sounds pretty thrilling.
Yeah, it was. It was. First off, I watched that at the seat of my at the edge of my seat, just because Super Mario
Right.
just
Of
only
course.
started wrestling this year, and the match was finished by Mario taking a double splash a la the Usos.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, he took that like his first actual match, and I'm like, oh God, please be okay. Like it's like when you see like Cesaro take it, like okay, it hurts, but he's done it before. He's used to it.
He, he's a
He's a
professional. He knows
professional.
what he's
This is
getting
like
into.
watching like your older uncle take it, like oh God. But
Older uncle. Okay.
I mean, I don't want to say like dad.
Oh man.
I don't want to say dad, but that that
Uh.
that that was a highlight. Another highlight was Skeletor, who faced off
Mm,
in the finals against All Might from Boku no Hero Academia.
that show is really blowing up,
Oh,
dude.
oh no! It was even better because there was like so many Boku no Hero cosplayers in the audience, and
Hmm.
they were like cheering the heck out of All Might, and they hated me because I leaned into All Might. I said he wasn't a hero; he was a cheat code.
Oh shit. That does sound like a cheat code, like power up. It's like, oh my power fucking 10 times.
Yeah.
I should watch my mouth.
Yeah. Food of
Oops.
the Wild writes, it was so hard to keep a straight face anytime Skeletor was up. Yes. Daniel, one of our wrestlers, he plays Skeletor. He was the previous Blackout champion, and he went ham with the Skeletor. And right now, if he hears that, he's probably going to leave a note saying how bad my impression was.
Oh man, but uh that's kind of the appeal though. Like some characters you gotta really ham. And Skeletor is so iconic that if he didn't, it wouldn't have nearly as much impact, and he really brings it to the table.
Yeah, and I just want to dial this back about the absurdity of this conversation, and which is why CWF is special, is right now we just talked about a tournament where All Might fought Matt. All Might from Boku no Hero fought Matt from Digimon, and then he fights Skeletor from He-Man. And later on the show, it's Super Mario wrestling Phoenix Wright. Yeah, crossover.
Am I Phoenix right in the Mushroom Kingdom? Is this a
The
crossover
crossover
episode?
episode. Mr. Peanut
Um,
Butter.
Mr. Peanut Butter. Oh man, I can't wait for someone to bring up Mr. Peanut Butter at a CWF
Oh
show.
no, that's
Oh
no,
man.
no, that was no, that was no, that was the dumbest conversation. Is we during CrackinCon, I was talking with Sailor Moon,
Oh
and
yeah, KrakenCon.
yes,
That was not this previous weekend, but the weekend before, correct?
yeah, weekend before,
Hmm.
smooth transition. Takumi, the Hachiroku couldn't do a smoother shift than what you did.
Hey man, Miss Guts brought it up. Um, so KrakenCon,
Yes,
hit me with it, buddy.
CrackinCon was an amazing show. CrackinCon is a anime convention that takes place in the Oakland Convention Center, and they were very generous in terms of
It used
invite.
to be on a boat, right?
Oh no, they had an off year, so they had a cosplay day
Ah,
on a boat. It was the USS Hornet, but CrackinCon is
that's
always,
amazing.
yeah, it is, and they're a nautical themed convention, and they've been very generous with the Cosplay Wrestling Federation. Year before, they asked us. Well, actually, we asked them. I said, "Hey, CrackinCon, what? We were there. This was like our second show, and we only had
Hmm.
our first CrackinCon only had 3 entries and went 45 minutes." and, and I and,
Wow, that's
and I had the audacity to go, "Hey, CrackinCon, can we be on the main stage? Because ask."
right.
And they went, "Yes." I went, okay.
I'm sure they didn't have a ton of like unique performance panels like this one.
Right, but it also just shows that KrakenCon really loves to. They really KrakenCon always believed in like the grassroots convention, letting the talent in the area take center stage as opposed to
Mm.
flying in Yaya or Han or
I'm so out of the loop on quote unquote convention celebrities
I
that
know that's what
I don't even know anymore.
I'm like.
That just showed how old you are that you reference Yaya as your like go to.
I no. If I was old, I would reference Adele from Cosplay.com.
Oh, oh, Kippy. Oh,
Oh my God! Don't say oh God!
oh man. Most people won't understand that one. Um, but yeah, how did KrakenCon go?
Yeah, like I said, they were very generous. We had the main stage. They also gave us a hotel room for the convention because
That's cool.
they wanted us to do late night content for Friday.
Mm.
We didn't exactly fill out the house, but we had like I want to say like 25, 30 there. But everyone who was in that show wanted to be there, and we had the large. Okay, this was the KrakenCon roster, and multiple people have said this, was the largest slash weirdest collection of characters ever assembled in anything. Not even CWF, anything.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember Sony All Stars. That was pretty weird. Are you saying that can top that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Way. At least Sony All Stars had people who could fight. You know. I mean, okay, Nathan Drake versus Parappa, but at least Parappa knew karate.
Mm.
So, no, okay, okay.
He very specifically knew karate. That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, and usually people only played the first stage because their only exposure to Parappa was the demo disc.
Um, who were some of the
Uh,
characters that showed up
oh,
though?
okay, so running down, we had Tiger Millionaire. This is off the top of my head, so if I miss some names, chat, please correct me. We had Tiger Millionaire from Steven Universe. Uh, let's see, Chun Li from Street
Okay.
Fighter, Killer T Cell from Cells at Work,
Okay.
Ebony Raven from My Immortal.
That's so good.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, Dick Gumshoe, Phoenix
Okay.
Wright, uh, King Arthur from Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail,
What? What?
complete with
What?
coconut entourage.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so good.
Yeah, oh,
If they brought,
Billy
I hope,
Mays.
I really hope they brought the ham.
No, they didn't bring a ham.
No, no, no. I mean, in their performance.
Oh yes, oh he hammed it up. He hammed it up, definitely.
Why would I hope? What? Gee, why would I hope that they brought an actual
I
ham?
don't know. You look, I'm Filipino. You never deny free food, okay? Like
Okay,
if
okay,
if someone come up there with a tray of lumpia and said here, I'm like yes. You don't question it, you eat it.
all right.
Uh, but so while we were talking about ham, another entry was Billy Mays.
Billy Mays.
Yes, Billy Mays,
Oh
who
wow.
from the Anime Expo Character Workshop panel. He
Oh really?
yes, same guy.
Oh him. Oh, that's so nice. For those that don't know, we actually do a character workshop panel. We did so at Anime Expo this year. We had a lot of really interesting characters come up. Um, and it's so cool to see that he actually competed because if I recall, he was deeply uncomfortable going up at first, but he really brought that character, just like the Gilgamesh guy,
Oh,
who is
Gilgamesh.
who is very very just like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, and then he brought the thunder, dude.
He
It's
brought
great.
yeah. We there. Let me finish going down the list. We had
Oh
Navi,
yeah.
Navi from Legend of Zelda, complete
Okay.
with Hey Listen, and everybody hated her. Isabel,
Mm.
Isabel, and our winner was
Oh,
Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy was so.
Tommy Wiseau.
Apparently we're missing
Yeah,
Jiraiya and Winter Soldier
yes,
as well.
Jiraiya from Naruto,
Oh
who
man.
played a super sleazy Jiraiya based off of Joey Ryan, the a very famous independent wrestler who threw a man using his male extension. That's
Jesus Christ.
and Winter Soldier from Fanime, who came out and brandished a knife at me, a fake knife.
Fun.
Fun,
That sounds like a good time.
very good time. But Tommy Wiseau was definitely one of the weirdest entries. There was a tweet our friend Hanya, Diane,
Okay.
that she made was like, for those of you who don't know Cosplay Wrestling Federation, Tommy Wiseau, the finals is Tommy Wiseau versus Chun Li.
Oh man, I did read that. Oh, that was super to see too.
Oh yeah, and it was our first. This was our. It was so fitting for KrakenCon because it was our most unique finish of all time, right?
Mm.
So when All Might fought Skeletor, it was a very emotional, triumphant match. Like they got in each other's faces. It was very heated. Here, Tommy Wiseau and Chun Li, like the storyline of the match was that Chun Li was like Tommy Wiseau. He was going to pursue his new dream, wrestling, and Chun Li was going after her dream, which is to fight M Bison. And Tommy Wiseau said, Chun Li, uh, Bison won't go to cosplay wrestling. You have to go to Bison. and and Chun Li has this epiphany. He's like, "You're right. I have to go do what I need to do." And they both pinky swear that they'll follow each other's dreams. And then she runs off the stage to fight Bison. This
Oh
is
man.
this is the first time that somebody won by default. This is like the equivalent of the remember Mortal Kombat 2, the friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Tommy Wiseau did. He won through friendship. He won. Yeah, a
Well,
pinky promise, and we didn't write that. Okay, we
of
didn't
course,
write that.
that is a in the heat of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah,
Now I'm really bummed out that I missed that show, man.
Yeah, what were you doing? What were you doing that was so pressing besides watching the cosplay, the award-winning Cosplay Wrestling Federation on the CWF network located on
We,
Twitch?
we've won an award.
I made an award and gave it to ourselves.
Our award is the belt. Thank you.
Yes.
I was at a 5 day festival in the desert called Wasteland Weekend. Have you heard of it?
And, I mean, I kind of heard of it. It's like you guys are out in the desert.
I mean, I did just say that. Yeah,
Uh,
it's basically people go out to the desert and live a kind of Mad Max Fallout lifestyle. 5 days where volunteers build a pop-up city and create this total immersion event where if to get into the city you have to be fully in costume. You can't pull out phones, you can't bring like normal cups or anything. Totally immersive event. And I play a sport there called jugger, which I know I've showed you before.
you have, but I just want to. No, I just want to bring the other people up to speed real quick. So
Mm.
this is a little different than Burning Man, right? Because everybody knows.
It's nothing like Burning Man
eh,
except it's in the desert. But some people like to say it's Burning Man without the hippies.
Okay, so tell me about Jugger. I've seen Wes has shown me various photos of him. He's like in this full like battle regalia, not exactly like medieval metal armor, but kind of
It's supposed to be reclaimed resources like tires and hoses,
and
um,
sports
and
equipment.
sports equipment. Though we're trying to phase out the sports equipment. Um, and if you like wrestling, you might actually enjoy it because it's also like a skill based show. We do gags and gimmicks, just like wrestling, um, but we're still a sport. And the sport is like rugby with weapons, like American Gladiator.
So like
Um,
there's a ball or someone's trying to run a ball.
there's there is a dog skull. We use a dog skull because it's based off of the movies Salute to the Jugger or Blood of Heroes, depending on your release. And it's I recommend you look it up because anything that I describe isn't going to be it. Uh, so when you guys get the chance after the show, um, I would look up Juggers of the Wasteland. Uh, Treat yourself. Uh, it's really indescribable. You really need to check it out.
Yeah.
Um, it's not a LARP because all of our weapons are, I mean, they're padded, but they're also solid cores. So we're not trying to injure each other, but we are trying to win a game where full contact is the name of the game.
I
So,
I wanted to just touch real quick on the emphasis toward theatrics.
mm.
Like, are you? Is there kind of like in addition to the points, like a style meter that you're graded
the,
on, or
so we're trying to excite a crowd, just like the CWF. We are in there and we're trying to show that this is a exhilarating sport while at the same time trying to not damage each other. Obasu, yes, we do actually have a Thunderdome at uh, Wasteland Weekend. It has the bungee cords and everything, and people swing at each other. Um, but we put in things like uh, one of the ball carriers jumping on our biggest dude and running down the field, or two guys clotheslining each other. Um, so yeah, I don't want to dwell on it too much because this is supposed to be about CWF. But again, if you get the chance, check it out. Uh, you'll enjoy it. It's pretty metal. It's pretty metal.
it's really metal, and it really. I mean, I'm not gonna dwell on it too much, but I
Mm.
really appreciate the commitment to character work and kayfabe because
Yeah,
you can't even get in like some dude with jeans and a t-shirt. Like, no,
yeah. In fact, jeans are banned from the event. Blue jeans. For some reason, apparently black jeans are fine, gray jeans. blue jeans. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I,
and going to wrestling, I think one of the concepts that really fascinates me is kayfabe. Um, just that whole belief of creating an internal universe,
mm.
and not only creating it, but you as the audience member would easily buy into it. And
Funny thing, I've never been an audience member of it.
you
I've only played it.
wrestling.
Oh, I was talking about Jugger. My bad.
I was talking about wrestling in general.
Oops.
Oops. Well, I mean, I can understand you not wanting to be an audience member in Jugger because it's just one of those things where
Well,
you ever like
it's based off
something.
a film, and I saw the film. I was like, yes, I got to do this.
Yeah, but you ever get one of you ever I feel like everyone has that activity
Mm.
like karaoke or wrestling, or for me it's
You would
acting.
bring up, you
Car-
would bring up
I
karaoke.
would bring up karaoke, but it's one of those things where you can't watch it, not because you hate watching it, because you watching it reminds you that you should be doing it, so you go up and
Yes,
do it.
definitely agree. Um, and that actually brings up something that I really want to talk about, and I know you feel strongly about, which is tied to our next segment, actually talking about wrestling. Apparently, there was a Super Show in Australia.
Yeah, the WWE had a super show in Australia. It was very Australian, where the opening soundbite was Aussie, 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 oi, 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 which is it's a very common chant for Australian wrestlers, and there's a good chunk of them. But the,
Uh,
the the event itself, I mean, it was 4 hours long. I watched it with Jill.
that's a big
Yeah, we
show.
took a
Holy
nap.
shit!
We took a nap break. Uh,
There's some matches that you can take a nap
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
It's
there are definitely some matches. I'm not gonna go too in depth on the matches. I mean, that's something that like Dave Meltzer and any internet wrestling internet fan with a webcam will do for me.
sure.
Uh, but I will talk about one of my favorite matches real quick was Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy. This was
Mm,
the cruiserweight match. Uh, and Buddy Murphy. Well, first off, both of them work extremely well. They basically do moves where you watch the match and go, "How are they not dead? How are they not dead?" Like Cedric Alexander would do like a back handspring, and then Buddy Murphy will counter it with like a Sagat jumping knee. You're like, okay, how is this guy not concussed? But it was just a pure. It's a pure. It was just from an athletic standpoint where you're thinking these guys got wires or padding in their skulls. Um,
hmm.
it's if you really like really good cruiserweight action, uh, 205 Live is their cruiserweight show, and one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, currently wrestling, Mustafa Ali, is in there. Uh,
Mustafa
yeah,
Ali.
Mustafa
I didn't know.
Ali.
I didn't know he was one of your favorites.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Mustafa Ali. He cuts some of the best babyface promos of all time. When Jill and I went to WrestleMania in Louisiana, we went to Access.
I remember you met him and got a picture with him, right?
Yeah, right. No, but like this is how much of a mark I was. We were walking around, okay, and we're seeing it. It's like okay, Mojo Rawley, Zack Ryder, and and then I saw. You know how when you walk into a place, you kind of do the preliminary sweep, and then you commit to a choice, like
Right.
food or theme parks. Yeah, that's what we're doing. The moment we saw Mustafa Ali's line, we ran. We said, "Whoa, get out of our way, kids! It's Mustafa Ali!" I did that. I looked like I probably was acting
You
like half
you
my
like
age.
drop kick a kid just
No,
to get
whoa,
it
whoa,
out of
whoa,
the
whoa,
way.
whoa, whoa! I'm a cultured man. It is a clothesline.
Of
It's
course.
a clothesline.
Cedric Alexander was in Ring of Honor until like 2017, right?
Yeah, he was in Ring of Honor, dude. Cedric Alexander has such humble wrestling beginnings, where his one of his indie matches where um, he was wrestling on the grass. So he wasn't in a ring. He was on the grass. And the quote unquote
Wow.
ropes is, those flea market colored flags?
Mm.
That was his ropes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's when you talk about humble beginnings. Wow. But I heard something big about that. Uh,
Yes. The Undertaker came.
I can't believe that.
He fought Triple H for the quote unquote last time, because you know in wrestling, whenever they say the last of anything,
Mm.
it's never true.
I feel like with Undertaker, it's more acceptable because Undertaker's character is uh he rises from the dead when he needs to.
Yeah, he rises from the dead, and you know this is where everybody kind of like this is where you know when you talk about something you like, but you kind of give one of those, you know that soundbite, the
I'm pretty sure I know that feeling.
yeah that feeling, and that's where I am with Taker,
Really?
really, cause like I love the dude.
Sure.
I mean Undertaker's one of those wrestlers that make me feel like a kid again, and I'm not talking about because I used to watch him when I was a kid. It's more so like when you would watch your proverbial watching Superman fly to the sky, or
Hmm.
a Gundam fight an enemy. It's kind of just one of those things that just taps into the right level of fantasy, right? In this case, a wrestling dead guy with
Mm.
magic lightning powers. Like you go, yes, this is what I want in wrestling. I love my wrestling with gimmicks. You know,
Oh yeah, but nobody really does gimmicks
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, no one. But you know, tying to the Undertaker. No,
Yeah.
tying to the Undertaker. So the reason why I'm going like is because oh, you want to see the guy wrestle, right? He's
Mm.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
He's immortal, but you watch him in the ring, it's like he's not immortal, and it's kind of like watching, you know,
Oh, now that he lost so large, he's less larger than life.
it's like watching later end Elvis.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I have a very vivid image in my mind of that one.
Uh,
Um,
right before you do
wow.
that, I just want to read one of the comments. Ms. Guts wrote, "We did witness live the Shane McMahon Taker match, and my heart skipped when Shane went off the cage." Yes,
Oh
that's a
man.
guy who could have been a dead man.
Yeah, they would have actually taken him out on a coffin.
Oh, and
But the question is, would they bring him back in a coffin just as a dead guy? Not as a gimmick, just that's something they would do,
I mean,
I think.
they did it. They did it before, where Randy Orton quote unquote killed the Undertaker, and then a coffin shows up and it opens, and Taker was in there, and Randy
Oh
Orton's like,
yeah, they did like some insane pyrotechnics on the stage too,
yeah,
right?
yeah, right, and
That's the clip where he's going oh at Undertaker as he emerges from that coffin.
and
Man,
it
he's been around forever too. I remember being like third grade playing on Game Gear,
get
the
time out.
WWF
You
games.
you owned a Game Gear.
I owned a Game Gear, 6 batteries of color goodness, man. And now the six batteries are dead, just like every battery that went along with it.
Just so you
It's,
so those were your fondest memories of Undertaker, was it?
yeah, like he was my guy because he was like his character was strong and like he was dark and mysterious. I was like, I like that. I'm I'm fucking 8.
Yeah, because
So
when you're 8, it's like, okay, who would you rather? You know, you're asking yourself, who would you rather? Because you know, you gravitate toward the wrestlers who you want to be, and
yeah,
really, it's like, okay, who do you want to be? This cool Undertaker, tall guy who wears black and has a cool hat and a tie, or some dude in his underwear.
yeah. I mean, Hulk Hogan was a close second, but that's because he was the most well-known wrestler.
Yeah,
You had like Randy Savage and Jake the Snake; those are all cool. But then there were other characters. That it's like, oh, I actually have to watch wrestling to get this.
but not
And
Undertaker.
I didn't get into actual wrestling or pro wrestling, excuse me, until I was an adult. So it's a little different for me.
Yeah, it's you know, your story is very interesting because a lot of people, me included, uh, the usual story progression is I watched it as a kid, I grew up, I stopped watching it, and then I came back to it, and now I love it.
Mm,
So it's really interesting where you had a slight affinity toward it, but it was only now that you're like, okay, I understand it and I get it.
mm. Yeah, I actually CWF got me into wrestling.
Aw.
Um, yeah, it's true. You asked me originally to do the show with you, and I I didn't know much. I'd seen promos all my life because they were everywhere, but then started getting really into it, and then I got into NJPW because they do a lot of really amazing technical work. Um, so it's I mean I feel like my story is a little too rare, and people should get into um, wrestling as adults.
I'm gonna level with you. So when
Mm.
Kevin and I first made the CWF,
Mm.
I wasn't watching wrestling either.
Mm. Oh, so you were the I watched it as a kid and then came back to it type.
Right. Well, for me, it was I watched it as a kid, and I loved it. I watched it every Monday, and then I wasn't able to watch Raw because we wouldn't get USA. So when SmackDown came on UPN, which was Channel 12 on basic cable, I was able to watch it. It also helped
Mm.
that SmackDown was on earlier, so I could watch it during school nights because I think SmackDown was on Wednesdays. But
Mm.
regardless, I fell out of it. But I never fell out of my love for the pageantry of wrestling.
Mm.
So I couldn't name matches and I couldn't name wrestlers, but I could name and recall how wrestling made me feel. That the pyrotechnic, the giant costumes, the way the crowd would go boo or cheer when you stand in the ring. That grandstanding is what I loved about professional wrestling. And certain iconic moves I would become marks for because one of my favorite manga series of all time is Great Teacher Onizuka.
Mm.
Right. In fact, I was such a big fan of Great Teacher Onizuka when I got a job as a speech teacher. The first thing I did was I walked into the classroom and I wrote GTO on the whiteboard. True story, right?
Really?
Yeah, really, really. I know I'm a freaking nerd, but what I
Well,
remember
yeah,
from GTO is the first chapter is Onizuka drops the vice principal with a German suplex.
I
And
do remember
yeah,
that.
and I think it was around that time around media that the German suplex became kind of like the random wrestling move of choice in anime and manga. Like
Yes.
like just randomly, bam, German suplex. Like Tekken, guy does karate, whatever, German suplex. Uh, and it was just like anywhere, like a gag, like oh my god, haha, hero, you're a pervert, bam, German suplex. It's I
Oh man.
so that's where my
The
affinity
German
came in.
suplex is so iconic too.
It's also one of the very few wrestling moves you can actually do on a person without their cooperation.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I used to wrestle in from like since I was second grade until I was in my 20s, and German suplex, man, you get a hold, they're done.
Yeah, you could actually you can't hit the vertical suplex in real life or the F5. No one's gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
But a nice snap German suplex, and where you have the guy neck fold on their shoulders, like that's timeless. That's timeless. But
Huh.
I wanted to. You said something interesting about Taker,
Mm.
which was actually let's wrap up the point about Taker was
Mm.
what during Super Show he was a lot slower. He wasn't able to do all of his moves.
Oh no, he wasn't like Ric Flair when he came back, right?
No, it's just
Because
yeah.
that was bad.
It's just one of those things where you're getting you're getting diminishing returns with the guy,
Gotcha.
and
Yeah, I remember he had like knee problems or
he
something.
had knee problems, and Taker's been in it for a long time, and wrestling hurts. Wrestling's
Oh yeah,
pro wrestling's bad for the body.
I remember Hulk Hogan saying his one regret with wrestling is not creating a move that basically disintegrated his tailbone.
Oh yeah, Steve Austin too.
Oh yeah. Oh man, poor guys.
Yeah, poor guys. Yeah, Black Freight jumps in. Taker should have stopped wrestling a decade ago. I'm tired of watching people beat up on Grandpa. And that's a good point. Like when you watch
That is
Roman Reigns spear a guy, and Roman Reigns not a small guy, and he like folds him in half with that solid spear. You're like, yeah. And when you watch him do it to Taker, you're like, no, stop. He's
he
an old.
shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, don't do that. It's like the
Oh
Simpsons,
man.
that Simpsons clip. No, no, he's already dead.
Oh man. Well, he is.
Oh,
He's been dead for a
he's
while.
been dead for a while. And
Uh,
and here's the worst part, right?
hmm,
If this was kind of like the I'm back, let's feel nostalgic and end it, like cool. No, they're teasing a they're gonna do a tag match later. He's gonna wrestle again.
of course he is.
And you're like, no. So he's gonna be even older when he does it. And it's like it's
Uh,
okay, dude. Like for me, it's
that's
like
a bummer.
I got my fill, Taker. I really got my fill. You could write off and just let me have my memories. Like I'm okay with that.
Mr. Malto says similar reaction to Daniel Bryan, honestly.
Well, at least Daniel Bryan is actually wrestling and he's still moving at a full clip. It's just, the company's not fully comfortable letting him go nutso crazo
Mm.
because, he had to retire because of concussions. So,
Yeah, I remember that match too.
yeah, if I'm WWE and I put a lot of money and a lot of time in making Daniel Bryan champion, and he has that happen to him and comes back, it's like okay, maybe I too would give him the kid gloves.
Right. I remember him going against Randy Orton right before the Randy Orton Batista Daniel Bryan match, and just like decimating his shoulder, and then he went in and won that. And everyone talks about how great that match is, but man, I felt really bad for Daniel Bryan.
It is, but I wanted to talk about gimmicks.
Mm,
Like
go ahead.
I love me some gimmicks.
Sure.
I mean, cause
It really brings the fun to the
It,
table.
it really does, because UFC is great to watch, and for me, if you want to see a dude fight another dude or a woman fight another woman, and it's just stripped down bare like my skill versus your skill, battle of individuals, that's UFC.
Man, I would debate that pretty
Ish. I
heavily.
mean, that's what they're marketing. All right, like
Sure,
that's where
let's
they're.
say Bellator instead.
But for me, it was just
Mm.
fun watching. Like, here's the match: a tax guy versus a Latino gangster.
Oh
Or
yeah, 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 yeah. They used to have so many of those kinds of gimmicks, and now it's a lot of tough people in a ring.
yeah, it's tough guy who wants to win, and
Tough
uh,
guy in a vest. Ooh,
and especially there was what I miss, ring names.
ring names.
Yeah, back in the day, you would have like the Repo Man or the Undertaker, or
Mm. Oh yeah, everyone kind of comes out with their just a name now.
yeah, it's a first name last name. It was a lot. I think more recently, at least people have been getting nicknames. Like Dean Ambrose is now the Lunatic Fringe. Like they call him that, or Dolph Ziggler
Right.
is the showstopper, and you see a lot more. The gimmicks are kind of bleeding through, and this
Mhm.
is one of the reasons why I love NXT is that the gimmicks are they're a lot more pronounced. Like the Velveteen Dream is Prince.
Velveteen Dream. I
Velvet.
love.
Oh, dude, man, that
Ever since his match with Aleister Black, I have just like loved him because I like Aleister Black, but his match with Velveteen Dream it was molto bene. Oh
and
my god.
it's also such the most anime plot. It's essentially Notice Me Senpai, the wrestling
Yeah,
match.
it was Noticey Senpai. It's like I just want one thing. Please say my name.
and
I'll never do it. And then at the end of like 20 minutes, you work really hard, Velveteen Dream. Like, awesome. Oh, I had a really fun time with that match.
yeah, it's oh shoot,
Uh, I feel like the writing with NXT tends to be a bit more um, classic while still keeping it fresh.
It is. It is, and but I wanted to tie it back how there's a few more gimmicks in NXT. Like you have their current women's champion is a pirate. Okay, she is
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm forgetting her name.
Kairi Sane.
Oh, that Kyrie saying.
She
Uh,
yeah yeah.
my coworker, who is a huge wrestling fanatic, has been following her since the beginning of her career. And she's really good.
So when she was Kairi Hojo.
Yes. Uh, oh man, the pirate gimmick is hilarious. I love it.
Oh, you want to know what's even better with Kairi Sane?
When she comes out with a treasure chest and
Oh
it's got the
no,
belt in it,
that's not hilarious. That's amazing.
that's amazing.
No, hilarious was her first real feud. Was
Who
with
is it with?
Lacey Evans, who's a former Marine.
Oh shit. Oh no.
In
Oh
fact,
no.
in fact, Manalo's words after Lacey Evans won a match. So it was like a best of three. Kyrie won one, Lacey won one. They say Lacey Evans now ties Kyrie saying, "I hope this goes to a rubber match."
Oh
And,
man.
and I flipped out because Jill and I always call we just call Kyrie Luffy. We just call
Mm.
her Luffy. We
I
really
mean, that's a pretty close association. Danielson 555 says, "Vince, please retire. Let Triple H take over." A little prayer emoji.
that's
Uh,
a lot of us feel that way.
yeah, I can get behind that.
I
I feel like if we brought along a lot of those NXT writers, we'd get a lot more gimmicks in WWE.
I think it's more so than gimmicks. When you watch NXT, there is a bigger sense of consequence in terms of wins and losses. Like you know how in main roster, somebody could lose every match and they'd be like, "You're gonna get a title match."
Yeah, just because they were so up at the moment.
Yeah, they're so up. So in NXT, they William Regal is one of the best authority figures in NXT, and it's just it's so old, it's like what you said. It's so old school. Like Cassius Ohno, he was on a
Mm.
win streak, and it goes, William Regal, I'm on a win streak. I want to fight Lars Sullivan, who is currently undefeated. And then William Regal goes all, you know, Cassius, you are on a win streak. You deserve what you want. You're fighting Lars Sullivan and Takeover. And I was like,
Oh,
wow,
awesome!
that's awesome. It's like it's just I like wrestling fans like when there's a sense of consequence. You know,
Right.
when Johnny Gargano was losing a lot of matches, the commentators were, well, Johnny Gargano's losing, but he's not really in his head. He's like psyching himself out, and then he would lose again. But it's like, okay, he's losing because he's not in his element. Like, I get this. I'm behind this.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that.
their current storyline is who attacked Aleister Black. It's right out of Phoenix Wright. Completely like witness
Oh,
test.
really?
Yeah, William Regal is inviting people to his office and he's asking for testimony, and they're using these interviews to launch storylines. Like Cassius Ohno, like he's hey,
That's really smart. That allows you to create things that just audience reactions. If they really like, if they're tweeting about, oh man, I love this investigation stuff. Boom, you just keep running with it.
it
It's
is,
great.
but it's also how organic the storylines feel. Because there was this moment where Cassius Ohno he comes in, he walks into Regal's office. He's like, "Hey, Regal, you want to talk?" And Regal's like, "No, I don't need to talk." He's like, "What do you mean? I got testimony." It's like, "Nah, Kyrie, Kyrie, Kyrie vouched for you. You have an alibi." He's like, "Oh, so you don't want to talk to me? Like you never wanted to talk to me?" Regal's all, no, I've always, you've always been on my radar. He's like, yeah, I'm always on your radar until somebody new comes in. And I tell you what, next time a new wrestler comes in, let me know and and I'll beat him up. It's like, wow, that was a great way to put over Cassius Ohno's jealousy of all the new talent,
Yeah.
because that's a thing that's actually happening is there's a lot of new wrestlers that debuted after him who are getting like main event status, winning, and he's kind of like there when he also was a hot new signing. Like, oh my God, it's Cassius Ohno, he's back, and then we've all kind of forgot about him, and they're using that as the storyline that we forgot about Cassius.
It's pretty smart.
It's
I wouldn't have
smart.
thought of that
Yeah,
shit.
it's smart. It's what we like to call in board gaming emergent storytelling.
I forget that you're a big board game guy too.
I am, and
We need to play that pro wrestling uh role play game.
oh oh, you mean the Know Your Role or the trash talking pro wrestling game?
The I guess it's trash talking pro wrestling game.
Yeah, that didn't make its way out of Kickstarter yet.
Then I am thinking of something else because there's a tabletop RPG that's a wrestling game.
No, no, you're talking about the Know Your Role playing game.
Maybe
No, definitely, it could be that. Uh,
we'll have to bring it up and maybe play on stream. Who knows?
who knows? But for those of you who haven't heard the term before, when it comes to telling a story, there are two types of stories. There's narrative-based storytelling, so it's what the plot tells you to do. So if we use this in Dungeons and Dragons, okay? Narrative
Mm,
storytelling is the campaign that the DM writes for you to go on. Go to this castle, kill the dragon.
mm.
Emergent storytelling is the incidents that happen that are generated by the players or by the situation. So, oh man, remember that
Uh,
one time you were dying, but then you rolled a natural 20 and killed that goblin? That's emergent storytelling.
okay. Also, thank you, Mr. Maltos. The worldwide wrestling is what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
That is the tabletop game.
yeah. Wes is a big tabletop fan, so am I.
Yep, been playing D&D since 7th grade, and I'm 31 now. So,
Wes has a lot more Dungeons and Dragons experience than I do. I just play
you
the
know,
board games.
I feel like I have more than a lot of people, unfortunately, because I have a lot.
Right, but let's be fair. Like between the two of us, I'm more of the quote unquote stereotypical nerd.
Uh, uh,
But
probably.
definitely.
All right. So, uh, quick questions. Does anyone have any topics that they would like to bring up, talk about, get opinions on?
Yeah, anything in terms of wrestling, CWF, conventions. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about KrakenCon. They were
Mm,
generous. I wanted to talk about KrakenCon for a bit because
mm,
it was an amazing convention. They they had two inflatable displays, so they had an archery setup
mm.
and they had a American Gladiators setup where you would stand on a small platform and swing noodles at each other. Winter Soldier was undefeated. He fought me. He fought Bryce. He fought a number of CWF peeps and won. He hit me in the head like 5 times. I was slightly dizzy. Thank you, Winter Soldier. I just want to tell you that. Love you, man.
Huh. That sounds pretty fun,
Yeah, it
actually.
was fun, but it's just CrackinCon was like AOA, where they knew that
Mm,
they can't really wow you with their guests. So they go, we're just gonna give a lot of stuff for the attendees to do, so they
mm.
could have an emergent story.
Yeah, ALA was based off the idea that we're going to make a small con, and we're just going to make it a great small con for a small amount of people, which is why for a long time they kept it at a 3,500. Uh, 3,500? Yeah, 3,500 cap.
Well, that was also because it was taking place in a convention, and they didn't want to get in trouble with the fire marshal. I mean, not a
Well,
convention, a hotel, a hotel.
yeah, but I mean, that was the mission plan.
True.
Um, Character work panels. So we we make we have these panels where anyone can come in and we talk about how to sell a character. G used to do, or I do still do coaching on speech and acting.
I haven't been able to ever since I got a full time job, but since I've been formally trained in college and I take a lot of voice acting classes on the side. One of my previous positions is a speech and debate, a competitive speech and debate instructor for the Golden State Academy, which is a middle school team.
Mm.
and we would run the circuit where I would train an X number of students how to do character acting, and they would perform their pieces and hopefully walk away with championships.
That's awesome. And he's bringing that experience to you, where you can come into the panels, work out your character, figure out what kind of style you'd like to do, and then on your own you can pick a character and just run with it.
Right.
Pretty.
I want
Um.
to I want to touch base, not touch base. I want to add that it's not just my experience that I'm bringing to the
Oh,
table.
definitely, definitely. My
We
mistake.
we we have our wrestlers also contribute, and our wrestlers have various degrees. Like Ellie was on the panel at CrackinCon. She plays Sailor Moon and Chun Li. She brought a lot of her old school masquerade and photo shoot experience. Robbie was on the panel and he brought his wealth of hosting experience and running gatherings. Kevin's always on the panel where he brings his dance experience and how to express himself through movement. Um, Shout
Right,
outs.
because our show is not just people walking on the stage and yelling. No, you get a full walk on. You walk. You have your walk on music. You get to interact with the fans, and then you're up there and you are just performing your heart out.
And yeah, you're performing your heart out, and it's really fascinating hearing about the background of a lot of our performers. There are, I'm not going to name names, but there are a number of very successful CWF performers, and
Mm.
they talk about how they struggle with stage fright or nervousness, jitters. Some performers blank out and they don't know what they said until after, or their heart is racing a million times a minute. Other
Oh,
people,
yeah. For years, I actually wore sunglasses to walk on because I get jitters going up, which shocks a lot of people. I used to be very good at public speaking, and now I don't.
Jerry Seinfeld had a routine about that, where you know what the number one fear is in the United States?
Mm.
Speaking in front of crowds.
Huh.
You know what number two is?
Sharks?
Death.
Ah.
So according to that, if you were to deliver a eulogy, you would rather be in the casket than delivering the speech.
Oh, wow. Um, hmm. Okay.
Okay, Black Freight is asking us to define successful. He says it sounds like there are people earning money with this at the description. Good, thank you for elaborating. Yes, when we say successful, we've had wrestlers who have done very well, placing very high on the
Within our
competition
own events.
in our own event. Now, there is no monetary value to gain from working at the Cosplay Wrestling Federation. We are just like any other convention-based show, be it cosplay chess or anime. Whose line is it anyway?
Sure.
We are competing. We compete for fun. There are people who have leveraged their experience in CWF and channeled it into other areas, such as Pikachu Libre. She now works with Supreme Pro Wrestling as a ring announcer and assistant to Donovan Troy.
That's fantastic.
Right, it is fantastic. It's
Yeah.
amazing, and I'm very happy for her success.
But this is just like anything. It's we have a show and people can use their experience outside of it, but we personally do not actually when we talk about success, we're talking about our show only and there is no monetary gain in our show.
Yeah, we're selling these shirts not to get rich. We're just doing it to get less poor.
Well, we haven't the nobody makes money off of these shirts or any of the merchandise. It only goes towards um, if someone puts down money for it, they get their investment back, and then everything gets poured into a war chest for the group.
Yeah, I think this would actually be a good time to talk about where the money is going. You want
I
to?
mean, I mean,
I mean, from a general standpoint, for those like, because since we are selling merch and we're talking about the merch store and people have been buying our shirts, and for those of you who've bought shirts, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really cool seeing a bunch of people wearing a logo of your event in the audience and out in the wild.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of pretty much almost all of the funds that have been going on goes to the technical side of CWF, paying for data plans to stream, paying for the microphone used, the
Right.
phone.
The Pixel.
Yeah, the Google Pixel. I actually never. I went 30 years, 30 plus years without owning a smartphone, and it was only because of CWF that I got one.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What? What? That's. I'm putting that on the outline for the next show, man. That's a long time without a phone.
No, I mean I had a
With
phone.
a, I mean a smartphone.
No, you're gonna.
Well, welcome to 2018.
Everybody, this is like this is the thing that everybody likes making fun of me is me and my dumb phone.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it. You, yeah, hit the nail on the head with that one. Shoot.
Yeah.
Um, but
So it, it,
but
it goes to this. It goes to hiring artists to design the logos for us.
yeah, it's all the merchandise sales just goes into more merchandise, making a better show for everybody. No one's making money.
Yeah, because we've only started streaming since
Last year,
last year. Yeah, we've only started streaming since October. Ever-
because
Because Twitch.
TwitchCon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Twitch. It was TwitchCon. Oh my God, it's been a
yeah,
year. We've only been here for a year, and we already have 2,329 views.
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Hey.
We should get more though.
We should get more. So that's why, for everyone listening, please share this wonderful podcast to your friends and family. This is CWF Backstage Pass with hosts Gerardo Paz and Big Wes.
No,
To,
just Wes.
with Gerardo Paz and Wes, bringing to
Thank
you,
you.
stories of the Cosplay Wrestling Federation and our musings of wrestling.
Uh, just to go over the announcements again. HentaiCon. It's at the beginning of November. What's the date again?
HentaiCon is November 3rd. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the event page just to be sure.
It's a 3 day event, so it's 3rd through 5th.
3rd through 5th.
Um, and then we have submitted for Anime Los Angeles, which we have a very good track record with. We're hoping that they accept us back.
Okay,
And
HentaiCon is November 3rd, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And you can
There you-
find this at our webs. If you go to Facebook, Cosplay Wrestling Federation Money Shot.
all right. And uh, if you're actually interested in joining the Cosplay Wrestling Federation, all you need, if you find out that a show is going to be near you, you just need to go to either our Twitter or Facebook and find the event that corresponds with whichever one you want to go to. For instance, Anime Los Angeles, if you're into that. And then we have a nice, easy
Google,
application.
Google Form application. If
You
you're looking
just
for us,
go for it.
oh yeah, if you're looking for us on Facebook, please search Cosplay Wrestling Federation. If you're on Twitter, we are at the CWF Universe. That's at THECWF Universe, and you can find all your
All right.
updates there.
All
Photos,
right.
applications, upcoming events, and I have to say this, and so Basu hears the reason why Lashada and Mr. Hiki will not be at ALA is that we will have another show at TaioCon confirmed for 2019, which is the same weekend.
TaioCon.
Which is the same weekend of Anime Los Angeles. We are bringing the heat to the desert. It. Somebody told me that the desert is actually really cold in January, so
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
the imagery doesn't help, but it sounds
So
cool.
that's going to be a January 11th through 13th.
Yeah, CWF Heat Wave.
Heat Wave. I love that name.
Wave, yeah, Heat Wave. Our first ever Arizona convention.
If you're from the Arizona area and would like to be a part of something like this, just check out our Facebook or Twitter.
And also, TaioCon's website has it. TaioCon is going to be at Mesa, Arizona, and their dates are, as I hope my loading jar come on.
It's January 11th through 13th.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. I looked at a calendar.
Okay, you looked at it. Dang. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Wow. Hey, solving that dead air.
yeah. There we go. Um, all right.
I think that's it. And I think you know what? I'm gonna try this. This is going to be a question that we're gonna answer at the next podcast. All right.
Mm.
So for anybody here who wants to answer this question, we're gonna see if we could gather some replies. You could email them at me at jarrellpaz at the CWFnetwork.com. Wait, is it at CWFnetwork.com? That is GERELPAZ at CWFnetwork.org. Or you can message our Facebook page by searching Cosplay Wrestling Federation. And this question is, and we're going to answer it next week with our, hopefully we'll have a third
Well,
guest.
next show.
Next broadcast. Next
Yes.
broadcast, which we are tentatively looking at the first and last Monday of the month, is what pro wrestler do you think best best exemplifies the traits that make you love wrestling in general? That's a
Mm.
mouthful, but it's pretty much what is the wrestler where if you take everything you love about pro wrestling, what is the wrestler that embodies all of those traits?
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna need to think for maybe a whole month.
A whole
Maybe
month.
until the end of the month on a Monday.
Yeah, so we'd like to thank all of our listeners out there. This is the
Yeah.
pilot episode of CWF Backstage Pass. Just to reiterate, we're looking to possibly air our broadcast over Twitch the first and last Monday of every month, uh, hopefully with another person. But for now, my name is Gerardo Paz,
My name is Wes Bartel.
and thank you for listening, CWF Universe, and you have a good one.
We don't have a signing off phrase
We
yet.
don't have a signing up. This is why it's
Good
a
night,
good
everybody.
night.